channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it. And it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, how are you on this Sunday? This was totally unplanned, unannounced. I was fooling around and got a notification that it was 4 years ago today I posted my first video on YouTube. Now I have actually been a member of YouTube since 2009, I think I joined, but I just did it to watch videos. I wasn't in the model train hobby. I didn't have an idea of posting my other hobbies live or anything like that. I wasn't doing any of that. But it was 4 years ago today that I actually posted my first 16 videos. We can go here. Let's make sure I get the right one. Windows. There it is. Yeah, 16 videos. And the first 15 of these were all published October 30th, 2018. It's when I officially named this channel the Model Train Outsider. I had not started the Model Train Outsider show, but I had posted these videos because by this time I'd been in the model train community for a couple of years. And people were saying, well, post what you got, you know, put up some videos, show us your trains or whatever. So I just posted because I wasn't filming, I wasn't documenting. Even after I started watching YouTube channels, I hadn't started documenting my world. And so I just had some random videos as I built things. So we have all these. So anyhow, Airwolf Combat, welcome in. Paul Bottrell, nice to have you. Lee, good to see you. Hey, Rick from the Foltz Bailey, nice to have you here, sir. Tim Wells, always honored. Tom Couples, what a pleasure to have you here, sir. Let me change the camera here a bit because I should have gone to my greetings first. But I wanted to start with what this was going to be about. I don't know how long I'll be on. I know some people go on at 5 UK time, or 5 my time, I should say. It's past 5 UK time. Andrew from March West Junction, cheers to you and the family. Paul Bottrell, again, thrilled to have you here. Leighton Junction, hello, Al. And you're here, and I've got some things to talk about. Dwight Curley is here as well. I don't know who else is here or who's out there. I do want to briefly touch on the drama of the last couple of days, including my rant video I posted yesterday morning. And then I kind of, like my friend Mark at Model Railway Fantasia said, I don't move on as easily as some people do. And I'm more offended when people I like get attacked than when I'm attacked. I don't know if it's some prima donna alpha male attitude where I know I can protect myself and it doesn't bother me, but I'm going to protect other people. You know, in my intro that has been around since I started doing live streams, I've had 3 rules. Rule number 1 is the rule number 1 of model trains. I learned that long before I ever went online. Well, started posting videos. It's your layout. Do what you want to do. You know, rivet counters and everybody else be damned. Rule number 2 is the world is full of helpers even when we don't want or need helpers. And as much as we try to help, I've seen so many channels where somebody is doing something and 20, 40, 50, 1,000 people on the live stream or on the video start saying, you should do this, and you overload people. So don't help people unless they specifically ask for help. And I'm not talking about that as a social societies thing, like opening the door for somebody. But when somebody's on a YouTube channel and building something and they're doing it a certain way, don't start saying, wait, you're doing it wrong. Let them learn or let them do it their way. I've seen channels where people got burned out because they did things a certain way. I mean, I remember Graham Folstom when he was rebuilding Lakeside, and I'm watching his work, and because I grew up with a father who could build everything from car engines to houses, I learned a lot of skills and trades. And when I watched Graham build it, I saw the logic, I saw the theory, and I knew it was sound and it would work just right. But he had 10 million people criticizing him. You're doing that wrong. Don't do it that way. Why are you doing it like that? And then Graham would build it, and it works. And he would kind of flip off all the people offering help because he was like, I knew what I was doing, people, just because it's not the way you do it. So this isn't a social rule, but it's a YouTube model train or hobby channel. Don't just start telling people what they should do unless they ask you, what do you think I should do? Which is fine. If somebody says, what do you think I should do? And then the third rule was don't call out and say negative things about a channel. And I am going to break that rule. And you have to break that rule. Yesterday, I didn't name the channel, but I left a link to a link that showed the channel. But I'm going to mention it. It was Barry Davis. And I'm going to mention it because I liked Barry Davis's channel. And I know Al says, hey, I saw this 2 years ago. He did this crap. And while I was subscribed to Barry Davis, I didn't watch most of his videos. And most of the ones I watched, he comes across as a grandfather. At least sometimes there's ego there. And every now and then he would just kind of subtly slag a channel, insult a channel. And I would be like, that wasn't needed. But I would get lost in the cool stuff he was showing and talking about. And, some people didn't like him right away for some things, and that's fine. Nobody has to like anything. Now, a lot of people, because the video had been pulled down, a lot of people were commenting on Mark's video, my video, and I'll put one up today, and they're talking about the rivet counters and the people. But that was bad enough. To insult the channel like they're doing that wrong, or that's not the way you should do a channel, or that was bad enough. But what caused me to lose my temper Friday night, but at first I was just like, well, I've done my bit. I've quit that channel. But I was very unhappy Friday night. And then I got up, and Joyce and I had a 3-hour car drive to go visit my son yesterday morning. I saw Mark Model Rail Fantasia's video, and he was pissed. And I was like, that's exactly how I felt last night. But I didn't go onto YouTube and say it. And I felt like I should have. Because there comes a point where you have to draw the line in the sand and say, hey, we don't call out channels, but there's a point where somebody oversteps that line. You need to push them back behind that line. And so I did this because I felt bad for the people attacked, and I wanted Mark to know I had his back, that he's not the only one that saw this and was outraged by it. So, hey, we got some more people coming in. Let's see, who else just joined in? Raymond Anthony, how nice to have you here. John, Mystic, Steve here. So I know I don't want people coming in and me focusing on the negative, but I just want to get this finished. But the thing is, he attacked the people themselves. He went on a homophobic rant against Susanna. He went on, he was just insulting to the appearance, the way people's weights, their facial looks, their clothing, the way they talked. He was attacking them as people. Attacking somebody's layout is bad enough on YouTube, and you shouldn't do that. I mean, you're free to do it, But if people give you blowback, suck it up, princess, and take your medicine when you create an illness. But what he did was so over the top, and people like Al said he's done it this badly before. I hadn't seen it. I've heard him kind of, but it almost always sounded like he was trying to be funny with friends of his. At least he tried to make it seem that way. But I don't have a lot of experience. I'd only been subscribed to the channel for just over a year or so. And yes, a couple of times I heard him kind of take a dig at a channel, and I should have been more aware of it. I actually feel guilty looking back that I didn't see that this guy really is a mean-spirited dick. I mean, I heard ego at times, but because he always ends his things with, and if the world would just come together, and if we all just had the pleasure that I have with my trains, the world would be a happier place. You know, and you're sitting there talking about making the world a happier place, and then you're slagging people right and left, you stupid son of a... It was just totally to attack the people. Like I said, being a rivet counter, you want to be a rivet counter, be a rivet counter. I've had people say they don't like my channel because I don't do weathering on my trains. Hey, that's fine. You have an opinion, you left. You didn't rip on me. You weren't too negative. You just say, it's not my thing. I'm not into German trains. That's cool. Nobody says you have to like me. The internet's free, and 99.9999% of the model train people on YouTube don't subscribe to my channel. They don't dig what I have to offer. That's fine. And I'm willing to do that. And if I put out a song video where I sing and I know how bad my singing is, I expect to take some crap for it. And I deserve it because I've got a bad voice, and to dare put that out there and torture people with my singing deserves to be called off. But when somebody just posts a video like, hey, look, we're going to a train show, and somebody attacks them for the way they did it or how they did it, and then attacks their physical appearance, that's just BS. And Barry Davis did it. And then when he got called out on it by me and other people Friday night and Saturday morning, especially with Mark's video that went viral, he did the coward thing and ran. He pulled down his channel like he's done in the past, and la da 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 da. And everybody's like, he'll come back, because I've seen him do that. I've seen him pull his videos or channel down and then come back. And he came back. But apparently a bunch of people jumped on his page again today, and he's re-pulled his channel. But there is, I know there's no place in it, but there is a point where Rule 3, in my opinion, has to be forgotten. When somebody starts starts ripping on people, it's bad enough if you rip on somebody's channel. And I had it happen to me when I started on YouTube, where I had been subscribed to a channel, commenting, oh, this is great, I love your videos. And he came to my site and watched a video, and then like a week later he posted a video and was like, well, I was watching this American guy, and oh my God, he does these stupid videos where he talks to himself, and he didn't name my channel, but it was clear he was ripping on me, and anybody who knew my channel would know who he was ripping on. And I didn't appreciate that. And I said, that was uncalled for. And then he doubled down 2 videos later and really, and I just at the time unsubscribed, said, fuck you, and unsubscribed, and went on my merry way and kept doing my thing, because that's how I'm going to be. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Rick. How are you guys? Hey, Owen Concord. And, I have people that have said they've stopped posting videos on YouTube because of the criticisms. And I mean, I can understand that. When you post something, you got to have stuff. But again, ripping my layout or saying I did something wrong, or it's not prototypical, it's not, you got to kind of have a thick skin and say, yeah, people are going to give me crap for that. When they attack you personally, I hate your facial hair, or I can't stand looking at that bald face of yours, or get your stupid wife off the screen. That stuff's uncalled for. So I'm not going to quote move on from that, but I just wanted to clarify that. But anyhow, it was October 30th, 2018 that I posted my first video. So let's go back to that page. I had been encouraged to just put my stuff on and see what happens. And there's a long story of why I started posting, and it involved Richard Watson from New Junction Railway, because I had subscribed to his channel and been a fan of his channel. And I went back and watched one of his first video that he ever posted, which is no longer on his channel. But he had posted this video where he talked about the reason, and I said that's not why he was going on YouTube. And he's just talking about he was isolated. There was nobody around into the hobby per se. And he just felt alone working on his trains and running his trains in his loft. And that maybe by going on YouTube, you'd meet people. And 50,000 subs later, he's one of the most famous UK YouTubers out there. And he's risen big. He works for Hornby Magazine. He's got a very popular channel. In fact, he doesn't post enough anymore because his job is now. We've watched his relationship grow, and he got married, had a baby recently within the last year. All these amazing family things, which can take away from YouTube time, right? And he got a much bigger, nicer job. So awesome to him. But anyhow, and so my family literally looked at me and they said, "Dad, that's what you should do. You know, you've filmed the video and put them on Facebook originally, because the videos are actually 2-3 years older than the beginning of the channel." And so on October 30th, I just sat down and learned how to do YouTube uploads and uploaded 15 videos that showed the stages of my train table. Now, these were unnarrated because when I filmed them, I wasn't planning on them being YouTube videos explaining what I was doing. And I got some comments like, I got a lot of thumbs downs on a lot of them because it was like, what's the point of this video? And at the time, I didn't have a point. I was just saying, here's my trains. Aren't they pretty? You know, so the very first video I ever posted was, let me go to this real quick. Where is it? Bingo. So the very first video I ever posted was this one with this commercial. So how about that? In the middle of my ads, you get an ad. Video will play after ad, these 15 seconds. I should have had this primed up, but sorry about that, folks. But a commercial is a commercial. All right. But this is most of you have probably seen this before. This is actually December 26th, 2015, the first time I ever ran a model train. This is it. This is the first time I've actually turned a dial and run a model train since I was 7 years old. This was my first train, my only train, and my kids bought me some track for Christmas, but it didn't come in the mail until December 26th. So this was it. Hey, Andy Hot Dog Pilot, how are you? Hey, Valley 56XX. I need to do something here. So now it'll go, and then here's the second video. So you can watch these videos while I'm messing about real quick here. Hey, EFO, how are you? Hey, EFO, how are you? Whoops, I needed to turn that off. Whoops, sorry, you might have had some echoing and some weird things there. Anyhow, Bali 56XX, I now declare you knight of the rhomboid table. There we go. Okay, that way I can pull that up. So anyhow, so these first 15 videos, and yes, ads and commercials. Sorry about this, guys. This was unplanned, so I'm totally amateur again with this. Well, I dealt with family like that too, Owen. I'm sorry to hear you went through that. There's nothing wrong with being a rivet counter. There's nothing wrong. You know, I don't want to be slagging, quote, rivet counters. If that's what you're into, fine. As long as you respect, not everybody else is that way. And you are free to say, I don't watch channels unless their stuff is prototypical. There's nothing wrong with that. There are guys that have said, I don't watch a channel unless it's weathered. Well, I personally think that's kind of silly, but you're free. That's cool if that's what you're into. But don't go to somebody else's channel and say you suck because you don't weather your stuff. And don't say you suck because I think you're fat and ugly. But, so, yeah, all these videos, and yes, this is straight off YouTube, so sadly they have the commercials on them. My apologies. I don't plan on showing these all. But I posted all of these on October 30th, 2018. So it's 4 years ago right now that this channel... I'm going to stop that now and go back to the main camera. It's 4 years ago that I posted those first 15 videos and actually gave this channel a name, and I called it the Model Train Outsider. Now, it would be another 3 days. It was November 2nd of 2018 that I posted my first Model Train Outsider video. But, you know, it is my 4th anniversary. Now, I did a 2-year anniversary video that I thought was hilarious and nobody ever watched it. It was in 2 parts, but no, it was my 1-year anniversary. It was my 1-year anniversary video. And it was so popular, I never did another anniversary video again. I thought it was hilarious. It was an hour-long bit, if you ever want to go back and see it. Although it has a joke, many of you, it's the beginning of the joke where it keeps him out of the living room. There's a running joke on this channel that some of the old-timers know. It's called It Keeps Me Out of the Living Room. That joke started in that video. Hey, XMG, nice to have you here. Nice to have you here as well. And that's fine. You know, and people grow at different paces. When I started posting the videos, I didn't have an idea of where I really wanted to go. The only thing I knew is that when Joy said, build a small table in the basement, and then she said, make it bigger, and then she said, just take the basement. I knew somewhere along the line, I knew I was going to be doing German trains. That's where the interest was, and I got Märklin stuff, and I was kind of locked into Märklin. Actually, I originally planned on buying TT, but I couldn't find an ICE3 or a Regio Bahn in TT at the time. They're out there, I just couldn't find one. I found an ICE3 that was HO scale, so I went HO scale, but I was originally going to go TT just because it was smaller and I could do more in a small space. I still imagine, man, what could I do on this table if I went TT or even N scale? But N scale is just too small for me. If you do N scale, awesome. Like there's a couple of guys, they do custom building of figures and houses and everything in N scale, and it just blows me away. Tim did custom scratch building in N scale, and wow, what brilliant work he did. Hey, Randall, nice to have you here. And it is, this is one thing I sometimes lose friends over is in the train community, is people talk about, the train community is a wonderful community. We're such a wonderful community. We are a community, which means we're filled with people. And people come in all shapes and sizes and attitudes, meaning that if the greater society, and I'm a believer that 99% of people are good people. Call me naive. But 95%, 99, 98% of people are good people that go through their days doing nothing bad, nothing harmful, but 24/7, everything focuses on the 2% that are bad. The 2 to 5% that are bad. And that's our fault, not their fault. Because if somebody starts the news off, today we're going to talk about this woman who hugged her grandchildren, and we're going to talk about this man who helped his son learn to throw a baseball, we tune out. We don't want that. Car crash kills 30. We're all tuning in. Man chops the head off 5 people in his basement. We're tuning in. So it's our fault. It's not the media's fault. It's our fault. But yeah, I started posting stuff, and the first videos weren't well received because they were just unnarrated. I had just filmed, here's my trains going around, for me to turn around and watch on the big screen TV, where actually my little trains get really big. If you've taken an HO scale TV or train and you've got it on a computer screen or in real life, you take your little car. By the way, this is one of the things I bought I showed this on my live stream, but this was bought for the 4th birthday party, our 4th anniversary, my little Beatles thing. But you take this and then you put this on a 70-inch TV screen. Ooh, that's big. And I'm a person that bigger is better. Hey, Digger Evans, how are you? Nice to have you. Oh, Rick and Pauline, nice to have you guys here. Dale, nice to have you. But anyhow, so I did mention that yesterday I had a 3-hour drive to go visit my son. I hadn't seen my son in a few weeks, and I had a table I'd picked up for him and cleaned up for him that he wanted a small dining room table. They had just moved apartments, and they have a table, but they wanted another one so they could use what they're using as a dining room table for something else. So Joyce and I loaded up our Dodge Journey, and we drove almost 3 hours south because he lives south of Columbus. It takes about 2 hours and 10 minutes to get to the north part of Columbus. It takes almost 3 hours to get to the south part of Columbus from Toledo. But also, there is a hobby store called Robbie's Hobbies in Columbus. I don't know if Wigwag were here. He might know that one. But, hey, O-Gage, nice to have you here. Arthur, man, glad to see you. Yes, I subscribe to Brunello Rosso. He has really slowed down his reviews. He used to put up a review at least once a week, and now it's like once every 3 months. Or he did put up 2 a couple of weeks ago. He put up 2, a couple of Picos. But yeah, he has really slowed down. I don't know if he's been in ill health or what. But Brunello Rosso is Italian name, German channel, does reviews of German locomotives and occasionally new releases in my world, the HO scale German stuff. He does Märklin, Pico, Rocco, although mostly Pico. Most of his reviews are Pico stuff. But yeah, so yes, I do watch him. But yeah, so I had heard that Robbie's Hobbies is a licensed Märklin dealer, and so I called them and said, hey, I'm going to be in Columbus on Saturday and would like to come and see your shop. I hear you got a lot of Märklin stuff. Yeah, we got a lot of Märklin, a lot of new stuff. I have a lot of new stock in. Okay, well, we'll pop in. So Joyce and I left a little bit earlier, not before I put up my anger video, but we left a little bit earlier so that we could spend an hour at this little hobby store and see what they had Märklin. I had no idea. You know, he says they've got a big selection. Well, we find our way there, well, they're a very nice store, very helpful, very friendly, good people, great hobby store. If you're into model trains, go. If you're into Märklin, especially modern era Märklin, they probably exaggerated a bit about having a large selection, and I'll just leave it at that. They didn't have a lot of anything. They had like 3 starter set boxes, including an ICE2, although they had that at a much higher price than I could get it for. But anyhow, but they had some stuff. They had a lot of scenery and a lot of American HO expected. It's just that they say they're a Märklin store, so I was hoping they would have a lot more Märklin things available. But they didn't. But anyhow, so I had picked this up on the suggestion of Randall, so this is like the first gift for this weekend. But we did go down there, and I picked up some more of the Fowler car system track, because I have to take some of these and I have to custom make them. And I know a couple of people said, why don't you just make the track yourself and not buy their stuff? Because I'm kind of already set up and I've already invested the money, so I'm going to kind of do it that way. But what I have to do is I have I will take the mic here and let me set the camera up, and I will go to the village view and let me show you what I'm looking at here. That's going to be the best one. And where's my pointy stick? I'm a teacher. I should always have my pointer stick nearby. There it is. Okay, so anyhow, I'm going to move this microphone as far over as I can and set it here. Now, I can't read the comments from here, but as you can see, to align this perfectly, to align this all up perfectly, I have a gap here. So I have to custom make a piece. Now, here is a custom made piece, and I'll put this up in the camera a bit closer. Here is a custom made piece where I just cut the front and the back off of a piece. This is from the old Fowler car. As you can see, when I hold it down here, it's too big. It's too big. So I have to make some custom pieces, but I also have to make a couple of custom pieces here where these cross. I really wish they made an X crossing piece. I have to do it, let's see, and then down there, and then all the way at the end, I have to make another piece the same size here to keep this all square. And then I have to make another little custom piece here. So I just have to make some custom pieces. So I had to find and buy. I definitely have a lot of old stock here. This is some of the leftover pieces from the previous incarnation. Some of these are in good shape, some of these aren't. But as you can see, a lot of these are broken. Excuse the shaky hands, everybody. But a lot of these are broken, so I can't use them for this section. But I do, I have some nice straights. I hate to cut new ones, but a couple of these are old ones that have some glue in the grooves and that. They're still a little beat up. But I will cut these pieces down and you make custom pieces out of them. And I did it successfully last time. So I'm hoping I can do it again. And then just get the motors working. And I will actually be filming videos of me doing that. So I'll actually be posting some progress of the Fowler car system this time. So anyhow, let me go back and see what people are saying. Hey, Mark. Mark, he did bring it back, but then I was told he shut it down again. That a bunch of people jumped on his channel after he brought it back this afternoon, and they chased him right back off. So I don't know, maybe he brought it back a third time hoping nobody would notice. But anyhow, it's nice to have you here, Mark. Because he had brought it back earlier today, and then he took it down. I've got lots of friends keeping me up to date. So last I heard about an hour ago was he took it down again. Because Leighton, Al at Leighton Junction posted a rant, and we talked about it being back, and then somebody told us, no, he took it back down again. Whoa, 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 what was that? Okay. So yeah, it's Barry Davis. I'm breaking my rule about naming it, but it was Barry Davis. So, but let's just... Somebody just asked me what's my problem with something. Somebody came in and said something. I don't have a problem with anybody except Barry Davis right now. Well, I have a problem with a channel that slagged me a couple of years ago, but... Well, 3 years ago now. But that's neither here nor there anymore. So anyhow, back to Nexie Solo. So anyhow, so I bought some more track to help me make my special pieces that I'm going to put on there. Hey, Richard Brown, how are you? I could, actually, yes. I could design and print them up. I could design and print them up. The problem is I do have a 3D printer. Unfortunately, I haven't used it in almost a year because I keep adjusting it. I keep adjusting it. I keep working on it. But when I try to do flat pieces, they curl up. I get that. And I've gone through using the glue down, adjusting the temperature, making sure it's even, making sure the gaps are correct. I go through all the adjustments, and I just can't get it right. What Joyce wants me to do is build a climate control environment around it and see if that helps the temperature, because those things warp up on the ends because they uneven temperatures. That's one of the reasons. But yeah, I could print it up. But to be honest, right now I've got the pieces, and it's, to be honest, making these custom pieces is easy. Okay, so it is definitely easy for me to make those custom pieces. I've got the spare parts. I've done it before. Shaky Hands McGee can still do that much. So I just have to measure it, make sure it's the right measurement. Measure 3 times cut 4. Yeah, so that's not a problem. So don't worry about that. I could try to manufacture a complete Fowler road system myself, but I already have so much. Okay, I already have so much. it would be like having taken $200 and $300 and thrown it out the window, and then, you know, spending another $30 to do all the printing. Right now, since I've got the stuff, I'm going to go ahead and try to do it this way, and hope it works. But anyhow, but let me get to the other little gifts I did. I must need my mind checked because everybody knows I'm not into freight trains. But I do have a freight train. I have a freight train running. I'm not running trains right now. I didn't know if I'd run trains or not. So I didn't set them up to run. I mean, they're actually still where they were from Friday night's live stream. I mean, technically I am set up. I just don't have everything preconditioned to go. But anyhow, enough of that waffling. Let's show you what I did pick up. So I already showed you the Beatles car that came in Friday. And I got some more Fowler car track. I mean, this was $8, people. Okay, it's $8. It's not a big deal. And this one pack will allow me to build all the custom pieces I need to make. So I'm good. Do it again, blah, blah, blah. I didn't bring them down. I bought some sheepskin chamois, as if there's any other type of chamois. I bought some sheepskin chamois. So somewhere there is a New Zealander, a Scotsman lonely tonight. No, I'm sorry, that was totally inappropriate. But I bought a couple of sheepskin chamois that a friend in the railway community said, these are actually good on cleaning track, you know, just to rub them down. That chamois are really good as long as you don't get the really thin ones. You get a decently thick chamois skin. So I got a couple of nice chamois skins. So I will be rubbing one off on my tracks to get them nice and clean in areas where my cleaners don't do an effective job. So I'll be rubbing the tracks on. So anyhow, so the first thing I got, we looked at this. Actually, I think Joyce spied this one first and said, would this work? And at first I said no. And then I went back later and said, yes, why not? So I bought this. And sadly, these are not labeled well. It's some kind of a boxcar, but it's Merklin 48010. If somebody wants to tell me exactly what kind of boxcar this is, I don't know, people. I don't know freight cars. It's a boxcar because it's shaped like a box. Or it's a covered hopper. I don't know, but I thought this was kind of cool looking. I don't even know if this is Era 6, okay? It was there. It was relatively cheap. It's Deutsche Bahn. It's Deutsche Bahn. So I'm waiting for EFO. Sliding wall van for forklift paddle loading. Okay. Because actually it looks quite a bit like my vacuum cars. Here's my track cleaning car. And here's this. Separated at birth, kids. This is one of my 3 track cleaning cars, but they all have my Lux track cleaning cars. Separated at birth, because boy, they sure look a lot alike, don't they? Very similar. Oh my God, these hands are so pathetic anymore. But yeah, so anyhow, I don't know, would this still be Era 6 today, EFO? DBAG logo, yep. Oh, it's just DB here. Hey, Simon, how are you? It's some kind, yeah, it does look like a coil, but I didn't know they were even called coil trailer. I just thought those were trucks that carried coils. My friend Jim Hovermotion has the ones that Roku made where you can they have a decoder in them, so they actually slide open themselves and close themselves. So cool, right? Right. That's what gets me into this hobby is the little cool bells and whistles. But I don't know. So DBAG is Era 6. Well, I thought I'd seen stuff DBAG that was Era 4 and, well, 5. Not 4, but 5. But anyhow, yeah, as long as this is something we might see on the rail lines today. Even if not, who cares? It's my railway. I'll do what I want. But so I picked that up. So, you know, I've actually got another one like this all in red. Let me see. I'll tell you what. I'll bring it around here and show it on the camera. Okay, where is the freight? There he comes. Come on. Come on. Come on. I could almost throw this guy straight on the freight train. Actually, it says you should oil the wheels first. Whoop. Oh, wait. No, it's at the back. Come on. Come on. Yeah, you'll see it coming up here on the side there, all in red there. Okay, Era 6 is anything post the year 2000, 2005, okay? The German eras, there are 6 eras. I really could almost, hang on, let me go to, they're not etched in stone because the eras definitely overlap like anywhere. But do it again, bow, bow, bow. Let's, none of you would know Tim Utt or that phrase of ours, do it again, bow, 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 but I've been doing that since high school because of my friend Tim Utt. So what channel would we go to? We would go to train stuff, and we would go to, we would go to Renaud's, open, and then HO model trains, quick lanes, advanced search, where is it? Beginner's page. So let me entertain you. No, I don't entertain anybody. Maybe myself at times. Sometimes I entertain a thought. But here, bam. So here we go. So this is from Renaud's site. This is a simplified European railway. So Era 1, pretty much the beginning of trains to 1920. So just, slightly post World War I, and again, people can argue exactly when it ends, but basically to the end of World War I. And then Era 2 is up through World War II. Era 3 is 1945 to 1970. Era 4, late 60s to mid 80s. Era 5 was the mid 80s to 2000, and Era 6 is anything after that. Although some sites and channels say Era 6 really doesn't begin until 2005. Be that as it may. So that gives you a rough draft. Where's me glasses? Era 6 is country prefixes. It's, yeah. But this is sort of a very general, if this helps you at all. But this was their beginner's page. But Renaud's is one of the biggest American channels for model trains. For European model trains in America. They have a store just outside of Chicago, about 40 minutes west of Chicago, and west of downtown Chicago. And they are a huge online shop, one of the biggest online stores in America. Although they're not my preferred, their prices are average to above average, and they're my biggest issue with them is their customer service. And they're like, you will call them and say, do you have this in stock? Yes, we do. Then you order it. Then you'll get an email saying, this is not in stock. It will be 4 weeks until we get it in stock. Or, yes, we've got it. You buy it. Okay, we'll have it out to you. And they mail it out a week later. Your experiences may vary. But they are a good resource, and they do have one of the best supplies of European trains in the United States for those of us that do it. My thing is, I can get everything faster and cheaper from Germany than I can from these guys, so I order from Germany. Yeah, I'm not supporting the American shop. Sue me or slag me off in your video. So anyhow, let's go back to the Nexi Solo. So nice little addition. But anyhow, let me grab the camera. Well, this camera doesn't have a lot of slack to it, but I don't know how well you can see it back there in red. Where's pointy stick? Hang on, kids. I'm going to make you sick. But you can see right here a very similar card to that one. Right there in red to that new one. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, this camera does not have a lot of slack in it. My apologies. But so that's one new one. Again, you know, I don't have a lot. It's not like a big fancy mail opening. That's why I didn't do a mail opening video. And I decided 2 hours ago that, well, what the heck, I'm going to go live and celebrate my channel's birthday. Okay, so the other one I picked up, more freight. They actually had a couple of Miraklin N EFO, you would know these. The Silberling is painted red. The Nahverkehr, the N-Verkehr wagon cars. They had a couple of those, the last set Miraklin released. And I was really tempted to buy them. They wanted $30 for them, which I thought was a good price. And they had two of them. Because I have the ESU ones. But the Miraklin ones were clearly heavier and were true 187 scale. I found that interesting. They were true 187 scale. Miraklin usually isn't true 187. They're usually 193.5 to 195. But these were full-length true 187 scale, as are the ESU ones. But the Miraklins felt longer. I don't know why. But anyhow, I decided not to buy them because Miraklin is releasing a new set at the beginning of 2023. Originally, it was supposed to be out in November, but it's been delayed. But they're releasing a brand new set that's all lit and everything else, and I decided I'll get the ones that are lit rather than buying ones that aren't lit. Okay, so anyhow, again, nothing special. It was $30. Just got a little, I believe this was considered Dutch, EFO, tell me. Because again, the box doesn't tell me. I know what it is. It's a flatbed with two container, because I want more container cars. So I just got another, and it comes with two 40-foot, comes with two 20-foot containers. Comes with two 20-foot containers. But I just wanted another container wagon. I want a couple more. And I do have some Hamburg Süd. Whoop. I don't want to give that away. I bought something from eBay that will be coming in early next week, and I just gave it away. But I do have, where's that Maersk container I had? Did I put it away? It should be right here, but this is such a mess right now. But yeah, so I got another flatbed, and so I've got the two 40-footers that fit on. I'm not paying attention. You're laughing at whose comment on Clive's channel? Because I think I put a snarky one on Clive's too. Of course, my favorite comment that I put up in the last few days is what I put up on your channel this morning, Mark. I didn't even shave just for you. There's an in-joke, kids. I'm at the point where Joyce complains because it tickles. So, yeah, I got, hey, Split Rock, nice to have you. So I've got another freighter, and again, they say to oil these, and then, I could add these straight on to the freight train right now. In fact, hey, why not? I will oil these. Yeah, it's been 4 years, and people say I really haven't done much in 4 years. I've acquired a lot of trains. I have acquired a lot of trains in 4 years. A lot of trains. If you had said to me when I started this channel on October 30th, 2018, if you said you're going to have 30 locos and a couple of hundred pieces of freight and passenger rolling stock, I would have laughed hysterically at you and said, no way that's going to happen. Joyce isn't going to let me do that. And yeah, we're here. Go figure. It's been kind of cool. So I'll tell you what, I will put this on multi-view and start up some trains. Well, I probably shouldn't start up the trains till I get these attached, because otherwise I'll have to stop them. But let's have some fun and add these guys in. Oh, let's get the oil. Doo-doo-doo. Miraclin's handy dandy oil. So let's get that first one. He's over here. I'm sorry, should I be doing this in front of the camera, oiling wheels and giving you proper technique? Like, now remember, kids, when you go to oil, follow the instructions on your train box precisely. And after you add the drop of oil in each location, please make sure you spin the axle completely around so that the oil is evenly dispensed, or your cars will not run properly. So where are we going to put this? We're going to put this guy, right in the middle here. So let's separate these guys. And we will put him right in the middle. Bing, bing. Hopefully the couplers don't disconnect. And let's go ahead and add this guy in. Again, we add the oil in the prescribed places. 1 drop. Do not over oil, for it will get on the track and make a mess. And then again, after you add a drop of oil, properly spin the axles to evenly distribute the oil. There, I've done a how-to video, and you were the first to see it. Let's see, where do I want to stick him? Right here. This will be a good place for it. Right here. Because I think he's the same type of car as those. Yes, he is. He really is the same. Cool. All right, well, let's start that guy up. And we'll go to the... we'll go to the DB4 cam so you can be the first to watch these cars in action. Well, we've got the... Well, let me get the railjet out of the way first. Not yet, not yet. Come on, railjet. Get going, railjet. Get going, railjet. All right. Now we'll start this guy up. And you can see these cars coming into view. And see if you could tell the new cars. All right. There goes the first one. And there goes the second one. So the birthday cars are running. I hope everybody... Whoops. Definitely not that. Let's get him going. Let's get the railjet going. I want him going slow, but not that slow. Too fast on the railjet. I'm sorry. Let's get the multi-view, and then I'll catch up with Chad as I get some of these trains going. Oh, I'm going to have some fun. That's the Beethoven Taurus singing Ode to Joy, which we'll turn that off now and get him going. Whoops, wrong way, Beethoven. Get going, get going, get going. And there you can see my Czech Eurocity and the railjet coming through. So hopefully you enjoy that view. And I've got 2 more trains to get going, but I don't have that page pulled up yet. So I guess I should pull that page up so I can get those 2 trains moving. We got 2 more trains to get going. Let's get this freight going a little faster, but I got 2 more trains I got to get going. Bing. 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 Get these trains going. Hey, Tim JD. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. I think I said hi to Randy, and And Rick is leaving. Good night, Rick. Have a good day at work if that's possible. Okay, I think we got everybody in motion now. They pulled a 64-car train on the club layout. That's impressive. I would have to find a loco. I don't have that many cars to pull. Ode to Joyce. Indeed, ode to joy. Now, let you in on a little secret as we go to multi-view here. Joyce does not like to be called Joy, but everybody in her family calls her that. Now, she doesn't get, I shouldn't say she doesn't like it. She doesn't prefer it. She likes Joyce. However, she hates to be called Joycey. We're like a little girl, Joycey. She hates that. She doesn't like being called Joy, but she doesn't mind it. She doesn't prefer it. But, yeah, if you want to get a black eye, call her Joycey. Because, yeah, she will let you know she does not like that. Oh, there's the mirrors. So I could have put that on instead. But, hey, I got a nice big freight train running. Come on, Railjet, what's up? Running a little slow up the hill lately. I think my Railjet needs a tune-up. Where's the little cap to this? Oh, there it is. Well, you can collar it and offend her, you know. Again, you have the right to offend, but if you get blowback, it's on you. Free speech does not mean freedom from repercussions for what you say. You can say it, but you may pay for it. That's why we have libel laws and slander laws and things like screaming fire in a public gathering. Those are all against the law, even though they're, quote, free speech, because free speech cannot supersede other rights. The right to free speech cannot, the right to anything cannot supersede the right to something else. And that's not being political. That is being social and communal. I don't care where you grow up, what religion, what political faith you are. Your rights end at the doorstep of my rights. You know, freedom of religion. You can't have freedom of religion. Well, my religion says I'm allowed to sacrifice 12-year-old virgins. Not when it gets in the way of the right of that 12-year-old virgin to have a normal and safe life. And that's the truth. The container train needs some road railers. I have no idea what a road railer is. Yeah. EFO, if there's one thing I've never talked about with my Miraklin Central Station 3, and it also is true of the Z21 or any control system, is how many times I stop my trains because something's derailed or I want to adjust something or move, and I think I've turned the power to the track off and I have it, where I accidentally move a locomotive and the ski crosses rails, or you know what I'm talking about, EFO, or anybody else. It's like if you got a DCC system and you accidentally lay a screwdriver on the track, zzzt, everything out. I blew a decoder in one train because of that. Now, Maryland has a short detection system in the Central Station 3 that reads the short and shuts everything down, supposedly before damage can be done, but that's not always the case. I've got a couple of trains that's lights are permanently on because when I blew that one decoder, those trains were also on, and now they are permanently set to on. Now, I have a couple of cars that they're automatically on as soon as you put them on the track and power anyhow. But most of them can be turned on and off through the locomotive or the decoder in the control cab. But my Metronome and my old Regiobahn cars, they don't turn off anymore. They're supposed to turn off from the locomotive. They don't turn off. They're permanently on. Because I really shorted out my system one time. Ah, I see. A popular starter set chassis. And Clive, what are 4x2s? I still didn't get... Hey, Christopher's here! Quickly swinging by. Well, you can run by or walk by. You don't have to swing. And I don't know if the ropes in the ceiling have been declared safe yet there, Tarzan. You don't have to swing through. But yeah, it's a little hard to believe that my channel is 4 years old. That's it. You know, some guys go out for their birthday or whatever and get 6 locomotives and all kinds. No, I spent about $100 on freight cars and chamois claws and that, and I consider that a win. Anytime I can even spend like $40 or $50 on my layout, I call that a win. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, another rule for when you are oiling your wheels and bogies and everything is make sure you put the cap back on your oil applicator. And for heaven's sake, don't sniff it. It's bad for you. Rolla is a totally different beast. See, I don't know this stuff. I know some passenger trains, and I run my trains on my layout, and I'm a happy schmuck. And then as my channel has grown over the years, I started slowly adding the other facets of my personality, the comedy stuff, the parodies, and, you know, whether it's the Matt Clark stuff, which you kind of have to, you have to blame Randall Ellison here because he planted the seed in my brain. For Matt Clark. And I really still need to get... I've been doing some little tidbits, but I have still not started plotting out Series 3, which normally, like last year at this time, I was already writing the Christmas episode. No, I had already written the potential plots for Series 2 at this time and was writing out the storyboards at this time. And I'm struggling with a few things to get going. And I want to do a Christmas special, but I was talking yesterday that if I don't come up with an idea for the Christmas special in the next couple of weeks, there just won't be a Christmas special. Which oil is it? Please don't take my what I do here the wrong way, but it's just because it's how I am. It's that oil. The Schmier oil. The Schmier oil for Lok und Wagen. Lubricant for locomotives and cars. Maryland 7149. That's what it is. I can translate it, and then it's translated for you. Well, what type of oil it is, I have no idea. It is for 15 plus, so if you're not 15 yet, you're not allowed to touch this. So I have to keep this away from Cayenne. Yes, I saw Jim's Roco crane. He bought that a while ago, but this is the first time he really put it in operation. And yeah, that's cool. And I'm actually good enough that I can look at that and say that's cool, and say it doesn't really need to be on my layout. It's cool if Joyce bought it out of the blue for me, that would be cool, but I'd be like, where does this go? But he's got that whole industrial siding track working area where that fits in so beautifully. Having been blessed to see Jim's layout in person, and I think I'm the first, I could be wrong, and if Jim is listening to this in the background or watching this later, let me know. Was I the first person to come to your, first YouTuber? I know I was the first American, and I know other people have seen your layout, friends and family and stuff. But was I the first outsider YouTuber to have the privilege of going up to your attic and seeing your layout? Because in your videos, I don't recall seeing anybody else. But I got to do within 4 days of each other, in a 4-day period, I got to go see Alan Wiles' layout and then Jim at Hovermotion's layout. And you want to talk about what an honor and privilege. Because, most people are like, when you see the layout in person, it doesn't look as good as it's on the video. And that's not true. Alan and Jim's layouts look better and in my opinion, bigger in person. Now, Joyce thought Alan at Dragon Junction, she thought his layout looked a little smaller in person than it did on TV. I thought it looked bigger. But yeah, Jim's layout, because you could really sit there and just eyeball some of the things that his cameras can't necessarily show. Unless he were to take a camera and actually get up close and film it, which he has done at times. Hey, Sparky, nice to have you here. And Andy Hot Dog, I've talked to you, but don't think I specifically said hello. But yeah, it's really is awesome to get a privilege where not only do you get to meet a YouTuber like we did with Tim and Philip or Lee at Anfield Road, where you get to meet them, or at the York where we met a bunch of people at the York National, where like we got to meet Robert. Oh my God, the hardest thing with meeting Robert from Robert's Train Set is, after hanging out with him, is you wanted to go hang out with him. I would like to go to a pub with, I'm sure there's others that would fit in too, but just Robert and Alan Wiles, and just sit at a pub and let a couple of beers loosen the guys up. Because that was hilarious. Lee is full of energy. And Lee is very techno-savvy. On his thing, he's always scratch building what he builds because he doesn't have access to a lot of the fancier stuff. So he's got to build it all himself. So he's learned to make everything with stir sticks and, that stuff, which is, it's a fantastic. And people forget is that, Lee, if you're still here, you would have to give the official date. But like 5-6 years ago, like me, Lee was not into model trains. He just moved into a house and inherited a layout. And he wasn't into model trains really before that. But all of a sudden, there's a layout in his loft. And the guy says it's in crappy shape, but it's yours. So Lee is more than a lot of people. He's learning on the fly. Although the one thing I'll nag at Lee is, man, he has not been running trains lately. It's always build, build, build. Let's see some trains running. If you have to do another video on cleaning the track so you can run some trains, but let's get to work, Lee. Run some trains. Yeah, my problem is my GoPro. Now, you guys know I put it on and do the passenger view, but I can't do the cab view because when it stands up, it hits the canopies on the Delmenhorst station. It's too tall. I've got one somewhat flatbed car that maybe it would work on. It's, what do they call those? The deep well cars or something like that, where instead of a flatbed, it actually goes lower. It might, I think even on that one, it still hits the canopies. So I can't quite do the cab view. I do have the, I do have the Cube. I still have a Cube, but I haven't done a cab view video in about a year. I probably should do one just for the sake of it, but nobody watches my videos anyhow. And that's my own fault. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, that's a great question, Sparky. How many people has that happened to? I mean, obviously the most common way people get into model trains is through family connection. You know, you grew up with one, or your dad had one, your grandpa had one, something like that. Or you work in the train industry. The one I find interesting is all the IT guys that, that get into it. Thomas at Split Rock or Roy Eltham, where they got into it because of the computer and the tech and the whole iTrains and JMRI and all that, and programming and setting it all up. And maybe they also had an interest in trains with that, but their professional knowledge and their hobby interest combined into that massive world. I don't know how many people got into it like me, where I was 50 some years old and had been riding trains in Germany, and was first time I had any experience with trains, and just slowly fell in love with the German train system. And it was traveling by train that made me want to recreate it in my classroom and then at home. And then that's when the bug bit. That's when it became like heroin, where you took a hit of it and now you're addicted. Hey, Eric, how are you? So, yeah, this was just I did not plan this yesterday. I didn't plan this at noon today. It was about, well, I've been on for what, an hour and 16 minutes. So it was about 2 hours ago I started thinking, maybe I'll just go on, because we did have, and this is what sucks. Again, this is us. Is my recent videos, and I know why, okay? I'm posting my parody songs and stuff like that, which is not most people's cup of tea for a model train channel. But my views have gone down on these things recently. And then even when I post, like, hey, here's something new I got, the views aren't where they were a few months ago. And again, I know why. So, and I don't, in the long run, I don't care. I just did notice, hey, views are down. YouTube always lets you know, your views are down, you should. So I don't really care. I put my stuff up there, and whoever watches it, watches it. But anyhow, and then my first video to get 500 views in a while is my rant. It's the negative stuff. I do all the funny stuff to make people laugh. 130, 140 views. I do the live stream, which a lot of people tell me is the best live stream there is, simply because it's all hangout and chat and all low key, which is fine. I don't think I'm the best live stream. I don't think I'm the best anything. I'm the best model train outsider. There's a few things. I thought I was the best teacher when I taught. I don't even think I was the best dad. I think I was a good dad. I don't think I was the best dad. I've tried to be, but I don't think I've always been the best husband. But be that as it may, and I'm trying to be the best grandfather. But anyhow, but my rant gets 500 views and 70 some likes. It's like, okay, guys, positive or negative. I put up a rant where I'm, complaining about something, and I get a bunch of views on that. Now, in some ways, I'm glad. And I broke my rule about naming. In the video yesterday, I didn't name it, but in this live stream today, I'm going to name Barry Davis. Because I've said this to a few people, both private in chats and in emails, as well as on some comments on YouTube. If Barry Davis had said about Joyce what he said about some other people in that video, I'd be on a plane with a baseball bat right now. And again, see, a lot of people who didn't see the video think it was about, you know, just ripping on people's channels. It wasn't just ripping on channels, it was insulting the people, which I had missed him doing before as a guy who's been subscribed to his channel for about a year. Now, I've heard him take swipes at channels, but even the one where he really went off on Alan, he had pulled down before Alan had said, yeah, he took a shot at me, go see it. It was 2 days ago. And by the time I got to it, he had taken it down because apparently some people gave him grief over that. And I didn't even watch the entire video because once he started really tearing down Susanna, I was just like, you really, you know, you already had a shot at these people and these people, and now you're going on this homophobic rant against Susanna. And I turned the video off and I went over and typed you are really a despicable, mean-spirited son of a bitch, blah, blah, blah. And I'm unsubscribing. There is no excuse to go off on people like this. You know, just let people run their trains and shut up. And I went to bed. And then I got up in the morning and saw Mark's rant, and I was like, I need to chime in because I was upset too. And Mark already posted a cool video today, and you know, showing off some cool stuff. And it's like, okay, it's not behind me yet, Mark. I don't know if you're still here. If it were against me, I would have ranted and been done with it. But it's against other people, and that gets me more riled up than when it's against me. Yeah, and plenty of people have mentioned that to me, Dave, and welcome in, Cottesmore. Plenty of people have mentioned that this is not his first time. I just never watched all his videos, and I would have said, I like this channel, but I don't like it when he takes little swipes at channels. But this is the first time where I caught his venom just being completely unsaturated, where it was just totally out of line. And yes, plenty of people said he's done this before. And I've seen him where he shut his channel down for a few days because he said something he shouldn't have said. But this is the first time I heard him really reveal his true nature. And again, I'm kind of ashamed that I did miss where he slagged. I stopped watching his videos when Alan told me he took a swipe at him a few weeks ago. And I was like, really? Well then, F him. I just happened to watch this one last Friday night, and I just, okay, it starts off the usual way. Okay, you know, Grandpa's talking again, and then all of a sudden, whoa, wait, what was that? Rewind back. What? Why is he going off on these people? And then, whoa, what? Holy. And then to end every video with, and the world would be a much happier place. Dude! You just spent 15 minutes slagging, ripping on so many people, and then you talk about, and the world would be a much happier place. If I could have reached through this monitor and bitch slapped somebody, okay. Well, he will build back up, I'm sure, because he'll have his devoted followers, and he has people who agree with him. That was one thing, Mark, that angered me as much as anything last night is I went to the comment section because, again, he had posted this video much earlier in the day, but I was catching up with it in the evening. And, you know, I saw your comment, well, no, not your comment. Somebody else said, hey, what's with taking swipes at this person and this person? And I'm typing, you rotten, mean old son of a mean-spirited, you know, I'm typing all that stuff. And, but there are other people like, great video, man. I love your video. This is so cool. And I'm like, did you people not hear the last 15 minutes of the video? There's no way you can be saying, great video. You either didn't watch it and just posted the comment, hey, love you, man, or you agree with what he was saying in that video. So either way, no, that was, man, I don't want to go back to that. But like I said, I'm not over it yet. David, if you're old in your shed, what am I in my basement? You're almost young enough to be my child. I'm not sure exactly how old you are, David. I assume you're 40-ish, give or take 5 years. Well, not give 5 years. You know, somewhere mid-30s to 40, I would think. Rough estimate. I'm living the dream. A lot of ways I am. Sometimes it's hard to think because there's the ultra mega depressed 17-year-old inside me that wanted to end his world, that never envisioned being where I'm at now. Well, yeah, but the thing is, the funny thing is, Mark, you said in your video today that you're moving on, and I'm like, I carry the grudge, but I still openly carry it. You know, that scab has, you know, that cut has not scabbed over yet. And I'm picking at it as we talk about it. And I know many of the people insult have already said, live and let live and move on from it. And I'm like, oh no, we're not. I've got my crusading cape on. I'm out here to fight injustice now, baby. No, but Ifo, if I could say this and maybe somewhat disagree with you, there are times where it's not worth it, but there are times it is worth the energy. You have to blow back. There are times, even if it accomplishes nothing for the greater good, for the sake of a sense of justice, you have to speak up. You have to. Even if it puts the target on you, you have to stand up to it. Sometimes you just can't play appeasement. You, at the risk of whatever you're risking, you have to stand up to it. Sometimes it's very hard to do. I mean, I had to do that in my family when it came to Joyce. Because, you know, my mom was a Southern Baptist and Joyce was Catholic. And I don't know how you know the attitudes of Southern Baptists towards Catholics. So, no, it's not about giving a chance. And I never want to be the crusader to tear a channel down. But I would expect people to not let him forget. You know, I don't... Even a hate-filled, crotchety bastard is entitled to have his channel on YouTube. But he's not entitled to take shots and shots and shots at people and not expect blowback. And if it makes him run and hide, that's on him, because he could have manned up and apologized. He could admit that what he did was wrong, but he's never admitted he was wrong. In the past, he's claimed he was misunderstood or misquoted or, you know, dude, you're on video. Man up and say, all right, I shot my mouth off. I personally would not even accept the apology, but at least he manned up and did it. And it would have to be a sincere apology, too. But, yeah, it's... But sometimes you do have to draw that line and say, this line will not be crossed again. And, If he wants to make the world a better place, then own up to what you did and recognize you were out of line. Because there is no excuse except poor upbringing and insensitivity that could explain everything you said in one video. Because you have to have some sense of community and some sense of humanity in you to and if you had those in you, a sense of community, a sense of humanity in you, like you preach, then you would recognize that you shouldn't be saying that about people. That there's no excuse to say that. And if you've done it repeatedly, as so many people like David here and Al have pointed out in the past, yeah, you're irreparable. You're damaged goods and apparently not able to be fixed. But you're still entitled to your channel. But by golly, you take off on people, we're all going to come down on you again. Hey, Jean Ricard, how are you? I'm going to have to be getting off soon because actually Oak Hill Express is doing his live stream. He started about 15 minutes ago, and the family will be here for Sunday dinner, so I'm going to have to end this soon. Yeah, but David, the thing is, was that person being supportive of him? Like, oh, look at all the, you know that, oh, look at all the people you offended. Look at all the snowflakes you offended. You're not a snowflake when somebody calls you all these horrible names and you get pissed by it. So, yeah, and again, other people saw this already, and I guess if they had known me better, they might have warned me off, because I have many times on this channel said I love Barry Davis, and I'm sure somebody's going like, dude, haven't you ever heard him rip on this person, that person? And the answer was no, I hadn't. I heard him kind of take what sounded like he was trying to be funny swipes at some channels at times, and I thought, oh, that was kind of unnecessary, but I didn't delve further into it, and maybe I should have, especially when you hear it more than once. But there's a reason that when I started this channel 4 years ago, the very first thing I posted on my first video was I had my first live feed was I had my 3 rules, you know, and rule number 3 is don't call out other channels. And I am violating that rule today because, as I said to one person, sometimes you have to violate a rule to enforce the rule. You know? Thou shalt not kill, but sometimes you have to kill to save lives. And by the way, the line isn't thou shalt not kill. The actual translation from the Aramaic is thou shalt not commit murder, meaning there are times, because, you know, 3 paragraphs after it says thou shalt not kill, it says, suffer not a witch to live among you, she shall be taken from the village and put to death. So, you know, it immediately was either contradicting itself or whatever, because, yeah, it's filled with thou shalt kill times. But be that as it may, there are 3 rules. No, 4 rules. So, yeah, I will mention that one channel. I'm breaking my rule because what Barry Davis did was so below the belt vicious. And again, Al from Layton Junction said he's done this before. David from Cottesmore, he's done this before. But he still got his lovers. And they're laughing at, look at all the people offended. Yeah. But look who stood up, and look who ran and hid. And you're entitled to hate whom you want to hate, be as racist as you want to be as sexist as you want to be. You're entitled to that, but that entitlement stops at a line. And when you cross that line, you deserve everything you get. Well, you gotta start showing up earlier, Jean Ricard. Oh, did he? Wow, that's kind of cool. Hopefully it was a positive one. Because, yeah, I mean, And I know, talking to my friends offline and in other places, some like Sam, some don't like Sam, and there's nothing wrong with that. If I like a channel, you don't have to like a channel. There are people that like me, for God's sake, which I don't understand, but, you know. Well, no, Jean Riccardi's back. He's already returned. And then he dropped, and then he returned again. All today, he's pulled his channel twice and returned twice. No, I did not, Jean Ricard. I did not plan this stream until about 40 minutes before I went live. I didn't even think of doing this live stream until 40 minutes before I went live. I started thinking about it because I was actually going to come down and do a little video because, Jean Ricard, I got a couple of new things. I'd have to stop the train, and I don't know where the best picture is. But we went and visited my son last night, Jean Ricard, and we stopped at a model train shop that had some Miraklin stuff, and I bought a couple of freight cars, believe it or not. I bought freight cars because they didn't have any passenger cars. Well, they had a couple I wanted, but I didn't want because new ones are coming out early in 2023. But I bought some freight stuff. I got this little Beatles car the other day, thanks to Randall. Randall Ellison here. Thank you, sir, for the link. But then I bought a couple of freight cars, which are on the freight train running now. But yeah, you can see him kind of going around in that picture up there. And now in that picture there goes the first one. And here comes the second one. It'll be the silver one. There's that silver one. Let's see. Let's go to the DB camera. Quick, the DB camera before it gets here. And then you can see him real quick because I don't think the railjet will get here before it gets here. Although it may be close. All right. So here we come. So you can see the new container cars. You can see the Dutch ones coming right there. Actually, it says Ned Lloyd there. So that's a new one in silver. And then this silver, whatever EFO called it. And there's the railjet coming through. Yeah, I don't even have the lights on this because I wasn't even planning on running trains. To be honest, I thought I'd be on half an hour and leave. But, you know, I get talking. So, yeah, it just was, it was an eventful weekend because I was a little bummed when I left my live stream on Friday. Just some things happening in the real world and even with my YouTube channel. I was just a little bummed when my live stream ended on Friday. And then I had a long car ride in the morning. Well, for me, a long car ride. 3 hours driving to visit my son, who lives just south of Columbus. And we stopped off at a train store that said they had Miraklin stuff. They had some. Although they told me on the phone, lots of Miraklin stuff. It wasn't lots. It's a nice shop. I do not want to denigrate the shop at all. It's Robbie's Hobbies. It's a great shop. Great people. Very cool store. They just did not have as much Miraklin as they led me to believe. Hamburg Zood is a Maersk company. Okay, I don't know if you're correcting me. You're just giving me additional information. Leighton, you can't tell me who made what comment. Now I'm lost. Uh-oh. Well, again, the thing is, I won't watch him again unless somebody says he's had a go. And then even then, I'll probably just leave my hate mail. And again, like I said, you're free to be whatever you want to be. But if you're going to attack people, and I guess I'm attacking him now, but, I mean, if Japan bombs Pearl Harbor and then I attack Japan, am I really attacking? You know? Now, he did not personally attack me that I ever know of. For all I know, he may have slagged me in a video sometime a long time ago. I don't know. I only know that I've been slagged, that I've been insulted, and I'm sure I've probably been insulted at other times. I mean, I've been insulted in comments, but where somebody called my channel out and called it a stupid channel, that was only once, and it was 3 years ago. It was at the time, it was a channel I loved. And again, this is why I'm so upset. Because imagine the people that got slagged in that video, and maybe they were subscribed to Barry. I tuned into this channel to watch their latest video, and he's in there doing his, this is how you do this, and this is how we save money, and blah, blah, blah. And I just came across this American channel where this bloke puts up these stupid videos where he's talking to himself, or I don't know if it's supposed to be a ghost of him or what it is. Come on, people, how many were talking to a ghost of themselves on YouTube 4 years ago? Well, yeah, 4 years ago, because it was November 2nd that my show started. But it was October 30th that I started the channel. Well, I put videos up and changed the channel name to Model Train Outsider, and then I created the show 3 days later. And I'm just sitting there and like, is he talking about me? And then it's stupid. The guy does nothing. He's doing German trains, which I have no use for, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, damn. And I typed a comment. I said, hey, I'm sorry you don't like my channel. You know, it's obviously not for you, but I do love what you do. And then 2 videos later, he's like, yeah, that American guy is still... I watched this channel again, and no, it's stupid. It's not worth a view. And I'm like, whoa, ouch, dude, really? And I was about a year into YouTube, and I had, on my first show and my third show, I had listed him as a channel I really loved. And then, bam, you know, you get blindsided by that. So that was like, unsubscribe, asshole. So imagine turning into a Barry Davis episode and having him slag anybody, but you being the target. But so technically he didn't attack me, so maybe I am being a hypocrite attacking him, but I got to play the United Nations sometime. But I'm not leading a crusade against the guy. I don't want people going over to his channel and hating on him. I'm going to avoid him, and I'm very angry at what he said about people, and you should be too. But I'm not going to lead a crusade where I want you people to go and hate this person. If you like the videos he puts up, keep watching them. But don't allow people to get away with just being that disrespectful to other channels, especially by name, especially when you're attacking not even their channel, because at least this dude attacked my channel. He didn't insult me as a big fat oaf, because at the time I was a big fat oaf. I weighed about 70 pounds more then than I weigh now. And so let me see, can I pull that video up real quick? Yeah, let's go back one. Just bear with me before I get off here. Here, you want to see awkward? I'll wait for these stupid commercials to end. Stupid. Waiting. 2, 1, skip. Okay, where is it? Here we go. This is my first ever on-camera appearance on YouTube. But I just fast forwarding through some stuff there. But yeah, in that video, well, in 2018, I probably weighed about 265 pounds, so about 40 pounds more than I weigh now. That's before I ballooned up to 300 pounds a year later. Oh, you guys didn't hear that video at all? I had the volume turned down so I wasn't getting echo in the mic. You guys are hearing me now, right? Oh, well, you didn't need to hear it. You just need to see it. But that was me, a very nervous me. That was November 2nd, 2018. I started October 30th. I posted all my original, here's my model train stuff that my family encouraged me to post. You know, it was before, you know, October 30th is when I created this as Model Train Outsider, and I posted what I called train videos, where I just, various stages of me having built my layout between 2016 and 2018. There was no voices because I wasn't making videos to put on YouTube. I was just filming them for me. And just like, oh, here's my trains running. Isn't this cool? So I can go upstairs and watch them on the TV where they're even bigger. So it was a... you couldn't hear the video. Okay, yeah, I don't know why. Now my thing was saying the volume was playing, but I did turn it down so I wasn't getting the echo effect on the microphone. But I mean, I can crank up the volume and see how that works. I can do it at... Because I spoke quietly even in the video. Because, yeah, even on my thing, it's coming out rather small. So, yeah, you'd have to crank up the volume on your listening devices. But enough of that. But that was November 2nd, 2018. That was my first video when I started the Model Train Outsider show. But on October 30th, now I've been on YouTube since 2009, and but I never did anything with it. I just used it to watch videos. replays of sporting events and stuff like that, pirated things, whatever YouTube had posted at the time. I certainly wasn't watching model train channels in that. I started watching model train channels in the fall of 2015 when I got my first train. And then I watched mostly German channels, and then in 2017 I slid over to UK channels through Jim Hovermotion. And then I started watching all these UK channels that I just enjoyed. Sam, Will at IC82, New Junction, Cottesmore here was one of the first channels I joined. But Jim was the first UK channel I watched and subscribed to, because he was doing German trains, but he was speaking English. And even though I understand German, sometimes it's just nice to hear it in English. And I slowly started talking to Jim. And then once I started watching Jim, it was like YouTube does that. Oh, you're watching a channel from the UK. Well, have you tried these? And all of a sudden I'm watching New Junction, Cottesmore. I joined Charlie Bishop's channel, Chadwick. Kathy Millett was an early one. Jenny Kirk was an early one that I joined. Budget Model Railway was an early one. Uh-oh. Are they here? Do I have a guest? All right, we have our special guest. Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Hi, their trades are running. Oh, look at that smile. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, what'd you do to your nose? Is that Cat? What'd you do to your nose? You got an owie. People are saying hi. Hey, Philip Page is here. Hey, Philip. Bopa. Yeah, Bopa's on TV. Yeah, for some reason he's added a B to Opa now. I'm not Opa, I'm Bopa. Yeah, Bopa. We're running trains. Hey, I got some new stuff too. What? The box? Yeah, it's already out of the box. Yep. See, he recognizes empty box. What'd we get? Well, it's coming around the corner. I got another one. I got this one too. Is that cool? I got 2 boxes. Yep, cars. Yep, the cars are on the layout. Yep. They're on the train here. I'll stop the train here, and then you can see the new cars, okay? A lot of people are saying hi to you. Paul, everybody's saying hi to you. You're a popular kid. Yeah, what happened? Did a kitty cat get you? Was that a kitty cat there? Okay, well, I will stop the train here, and I'll show you the new guys, okay? In fact, I'll speed it up a second so it can get here. But Opa's shaky hands are getting annoying right now. Okay, right here. Do you see that one? Here, I'll turn the camera around so you guys can see what I'm pointing at too, if you didn't catch it. But this one right here is new, Kyan. Do you see this one right here? That's new. That was in this box. Yeah, see, he's all new. Yep. Yep, got him out of the box. That's right. Okay, so he came in that box, but that's all new, so he's up there. So you'll recognize. Yep, and you see oh, you want him going. You want him going, I know. All right, so let's move it. Up, up, up. Okay, give me a second. And then here's the other new one. Okay, so this is the other new one right there. Do you see him? Yep, that one's new. Yep. He came in this box. He was in this box. Okay. Yep, he was in that box. Okay. So I'm going to start the trains back up, okay? And then you want up, up. Yeah, you got that? Yep, that's oh, hey, let's go to let other people watch the trains too, so we're not being selfish. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. But there you are. You're on TV. TV. Well, you kind of are on TV. No, he doesn't go on. He just goes right there for now, or you can play with it. He is. It's funny. I was Jean Ricard. I was watching a video from late July, so August, September, October, 3 months ago, and obviously he was 19 months and now he's 22 months. But just the change in him in that video, where you think 3 months ago you didn't really see changes, but yeah, definitely he's hit another level of maturity here. What you looking for? Oh, you want that truck? You got that truck? That's a beat-up truck. Opa used other parts from it to make something for, actually, believe it or not, he used it to make a scratch-built restaurant, my friend's restaurant. So I used pieces off that truck. No, he's Bluey. And Bluey is the coolest kids cartoon ever. What are you doing? No, no stop. We're going to let him run for a bit. Yeah, this is the problem. He knows how to turn it on and off. And see, if he turns it off, Opa goes upstairs with him, which is what he wants right now. Grab the red train. Which red train? Oh, ah. Oh, ah. Do you want to go over here and watch? You want to go over here? Yeah. You want to go over there? Whoops. This camera's been facing the wrong way all this time. I never turned it around. Well, here, I'll leave you on. We'll see how you show up on this camera. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, up! So here's Kyan. He likes to be up here watching trades. Oh, let's move that over here. Yeah, let's move Opa's coffee mug over here. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, we don't quite get your head in there in the picture. You like those trains? I didn't realize, see, I wasn't planning on live streaming today, so I didn't turn that camera around. Do you see you're on the camera? Oh, 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 yep, that's the rail jet, right? You remember how to say rail jet? No, the car can't go on it. The car cannot go on the rails. He's not a train. Oma, Oma, you want Oma? Yeah, do you see that one? That's a rail jet too. Do you remember how to say rail jet? Close. Okay, I'm going to take you back down for now. Because, yeah, we really do, because supper's going to be on soon. Oma, 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 yeah. You want to go back upstairs to Oma? Oma, Oma, Oma. Okay. You want to go back see Oma? Hey, Kyan wants to come back upstairs. Well, he wants me to accompany him, but he was saying Oma. I usually follow behind him so he feels safe.
Yeah, as Mom said, aren't you about done?
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm being told I should be getting off now. Family's here and visit, and I know Jean Ricard suggested the whole family come down, but that ain't happening. So anyhow, everybody remember out there, do as I say, not as I do, and don't rip other channels on your channel. And again, we're not going out. I don't want anybody just going to the channel to cause trouble. The best thing to do is, hopefully, it's not going to happen, but maybe he learns his lesson. But this is not a crusade to hate on a person. And I'm just here because, hey, I've been on YouTube for 4 years, and my layout looks the same as it has the last 3 years. So go figure. Anyhow, all of you take care. Good night. I will see you on somebody's live stream somewhere. If not, I will see you on my, well, I hope I'll see you on my live stream Friday. Lately, it's been kind of, the nights of the rhomboid table have been a little closer together lately. So take care, everybody. I am going to say Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains, and take care.